asbestos will not burn. In fact, it is best known for its use in all fields of fire protection.
Asbestos was regarded as the miracle mineral, and people thought it was a great product, and it was. It was a great fire retardant. It just happened to kill people.
Mesothelioma, it affects mostly the lungs. One of the first cases that I worked on was a medical malpractice case against the company doctor out at the Johns Manville plant in Pittsburgh, California. I was a young lawyer helping one of the partners who was going to try the case. He won and got a very nice verdict. And then we got a letter from the union safety representative down at their mine and mill in Lompoc, Southern California, saying, we've had a lot of our members die recently. We think something must be going on. Could you come down here and represent us all?
Stephen had the vision of what it meant to represent working people and to get working people real compensation for their injuries and take care of their families.
These were not easy cases, and certainly at the beginning. We had to make new law for the plant workers to get around workers' compensation as their only remedy.
Stephen was very creative in figuring out a way to get around the workers' compensation bar, which was fraud. Within the plant, there was a medical facility, and they were monitoring the workers, but they were not revealing to the workers the results of their chest x-rays. And so that was fraud.
We were up against the biggest law firms, the richest companies, the greatest resources. They had developed, a playbook.
As you consider this problem and its potential solutions, I ask you to think about those hurt most by asbestos, people who are seriously and often terminally ill. Think of their husbands or wives and of their children. I urge you to act quickly to fix this broken and abused part of our justice system before the real victims of asbestos lose everything.
We decided to go on vacation and go to Maui. We're having the time of our life, but at the top of Haleakala, which is this really high elevation volcano, I'm extremely short of breath. And upon return, I go to my primary care, who's my friend, and he told me basically, you have stage 4 lung cancer, it's mesothelioma. I'm sorry, Locke, it's probably 12 to 18 months on average for patients in your situation.
Our daughter had just gotten into college. We were actually facing medical bankruptcy, is what we were in. We were getting bills of hundreds of thousands of dollars and collections agencies coming at us. And my phone, I was afraid to answer it because I didn't know what they wanted.
And then I still needed to work because I'm the only wage earner and I've got 4 kids.
They come to us and they're in the worst situation they could ever be in. They're dying. And we're the ones that listen to them and take the time to just allow them to express themselves. It's very moving, very touching, and hard sometimes, It makes you fight harder, and it makes all the long hours and everything that we do worth it.
So when I started here, that was one of the things that was very remarkable to me, was just how passionate everyone was around these cases. No one requires you to come in on weekends or evenings, but you just know that that's the level of intensity that's behind these cases.
Gordon is always well prepared. I remember we called in the jurors. Gordon began his opening statement. And my court reporter turned around to me and said, "Did you hear that opening statement?" I said, "Yes, I did. It was very good." And she said, "This case is going to settle right now." I said, "How do you know that?" I listened to that opening statement. She said, "Oh, you should have seen those jurors' faces."
You'll see documents where they're trying to destroy the asbestos, they're trying to remove the asbestos.
Satterley let the evidence speak for itself. Sometimes when we were going through really technical information, he'd kind of laugh and he'd say to us, "Did you get that? Because I don't think I did," or something like that. And of course, we knew that he knew this scientific evidence backwards and forwards, but he would say things to put us at ease because it was very challenging evidence.
So what the jury sees is the trial lawyer What the jury doesn't know about is all the people back at the office giving the trial lawyer what she or he needs to present the case seamlessly.
All of our clients in this office are dying, and they have to go through a deposition. So I drafted a piece of legislation with, again, help from the folks here that would limit the amount of time that people had to go through this.
I've been here since the 80s, and over the years, there were many, many cases of people who got mesothelioma who were never exposed to industrial asbestos. They didn't work in the shipyards. They weren't around construction. They got it from some unknown reason, and that just never sat well with me. Then along came a woman who just completely touched my heart. She was a rock singer. She would wear nylons, like black tights, and every time she went on stage, she'd pour baby powder down her black tights. She'd pour baby powder on her hair so that she wouldn't sweat. She'd put baby powder all over her body, and this was just constant, constant, constant. And she got mesothelioma, and there was literally no other explanation. And Joe and I really pushed the partners to take on this fight.
As early as 1972 and 74, they had photographic evidence of asbestos in their talcum powder products, in the historical files that we were able to put up before the jury and say, look, not only did they know it was asbestos, they had photographs of the asbestos in the product.
I was diagnosed with mesothelioma in 2021. The diagnosis came about primarily because I walk every day with foot heels, and I wasn't able to do so without being very short of breath. It was brought out. I was exposed to the talc as a result of being an athlete. And I used it in my feet, in my shoes, and all over my body, as well as when my daughters were infants, we used it. So that was a continuous using it over many, many years. Primarily Johnson & Johnson baby powder, because, that was the baby powder at the time. I was very impressed with the preparedness.
In that case, we had the exact type of asbestos in his tissue that's in the baby powder. So it was not surprising that after opening statements, the case resolved. No amount of money replaces what a mesothelioma victim goes through. The pain, the suffering, the loss of enjoyment of life. But what we do is we try to make the remaining days of their lives less painful.
I was lucky I got Kazan, because they were basically essentially the Michael Jordan of this field. I wanted to come back to say thank you. So you guys changed our lives. You changed my family, right? I could afford to send my kids to college, and they're going to some really expensive colleges, right? So thank you for that.
And with that, too, we're wanting to make sure that we're about something bigger than ourselves. So if there's anything that we can help advocate for, that's what we want to be about.
When I started the firm, it was important that people get treated with respect and appropriately.
Thank you.
We decided that a pension plan, a profit-sharing plan, would be a good idea.
We make a big sacrifice in the time that we spend away from our families. But at the same time, they compensate us in a way where we're able to just help our families live better lives.
What we've done in the foundation over the years is find and identify organizations that are having an impact in the places that we think are most effective, and we support those organizations' work. So among the organizations we support is Lend a Hand Foundation.
The foster mother co-founded the Lend a Hand Foundation in 1997.
My mom always instilled in me that no matter what we had, and we didn't have much, that we could still give.
Dee has given away more than 133,000 backpacks.
But you can have more.
To low-income public school children in Oakland and Alameda County.
I got some supplies, and it's my first day of school.
This is about humanity. So Kazan helped us to help so many people.
Another project that the Kazan Foundation provided seed money toward is the Pacific Bridge Club, which was founded in an underserved area in Oakland with a very, very low graduation rate.
We've been able to take over 200 students to 10 countries in 7 years. I mean, it's changed the entire culture of this community because kids are seeing the world and bringing that experience back. So it's really Kazan that's helping us get this demographic and really help them see what we want them to see, which is the world.
I walked into a law firm that had established principles of generosity, bravery, and giving back to the community. And I hope to be here for the rest of my life, but it will always make me a better partner, certainly a better lawyer, and certainly a better human being.
Here we are at 50 years, and I've been here for a little over half of those years, 26. And now we get to look at what we've accomplished, and there's a lot of talk about the cases that we've done and the victories that we've had and the foundation we've established. But all of this has been under the framework of a firm that David and Stephen started with certain values. They provided the framework for who we are.
We're going to continue to do the very, very best we can for our clients going forward. We're going to continue to work hard. We're going to fight hard. We're going to continue to carry their legacy forward into the future for many decades to come.